Well, earlier in the show, Neil Melancon spoke with grain marketer David Bollock about where we are on prices. Now, in this week's Bottom Line, Neil joins us to tell us about how the drop in prices is not so unusual for this time of year. Neil?
Avery, July 4th is a time when we celebrate, but for the markets, it's usually a signal of a steady drop in prices until at least harvest time, kind of a hangover, if you will. But it's not so much the holiday itself, though, as it is an attitude that by July, the crop has largely been made, at least in the minds of traders. This is especially true for corn. As you can see, the current year is trending closely to the 5-year average, although it started its collapse earlier around the middle of June and has been going down ever since. Soybeans are in much the same boat. They began their big slide this past week, dropping limit lower on Tuesday, almost in exact sympathy with the trend line. The bottom line is that right now we are trading on a lot of supply and little in the way of bullish news. The June 30th acreage report was very bearish, but the stocks report was also very negative in that usage is dropping as livestock producers cut herds due to historically low prices across beef, pork, and poultry. This is expected to continue, which means more grains in the bin. Weather is another factor, and despite our drought and heat here in Louisiana, it has been largely favorable for the Midwest growing regions. Now again, the crops still haven't been made, especially soybeans. As David mentioned earlier, a tight basis may also help farmers, but all in all, there's nothing to stop the downward slide of prices right now, at least until we see some very inclement weather or yield numbers that defy expectations. That's the bottom line. I'm Neil Melancon. Back over to you, Avery.
Thanks, Neil. And remember, you can listen to Neil's reports on the Louisiana Farm Bureau Radio Network. For a list of stations where you can listen, click over to our website, twilatv.org.